Ohio, konnichiwa, konnichiwa. I'm messing this up. Ohio, konnichiwa, konbanwa, whatever the case may be. Welcome to Cross Examinations. He is risen indeed. Oh my goodness. Welcome to the show. My name is Mike Miller. If you don't know, I'm not a pastor, priest, rabbi, or any of those things. Sorry, I'm trying to talk fast at the end, and my stroke's not letting me. So I'll get there. I just need to probably slow down my speech so you can understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. Templar Samurai sounds like a good setting for an alternate history story. That could have been history if they didn't just shut down Christianity in the 16th century. And that was kind of the thing I was talking about. It's like just going through, I'm still reading all this Japanese guys, Christian guys, complaining about how Christianity is not I don't know if copacetic is the right word, but like, a lot of Mike, learn your native. I know the words, I just couldn't say them as fast as I want. Ohio is good morning, konnichiwa is good afternoon, and konbanwa is good night or good evening. I know these words. I don't know a lot of Japanese, but I know those. Why is that highlighted now? Ohio. Hi, Ohio. Well, it's not morning for you either, Miss Missy. What is that flag? Oh, it's the fish. It's the weather vanes. The fish weather vanes. Oh, I love those. I haven't thought about those for a while. The Japanese little fabric fish weather vanes, where it's like they look like fish and they fill up with air when the wind blows, and so it's cool. Yeah, the good morning state. That's what they should call it, is the good morning state. Dang it, why does my throat feel sore already? Anyways, hope everybody had a great Easter weekend. I did. We had a huge gathering. My konbanwa is good evening. Yes, Melissa. Huge Easter. I made a 27-pound brisket, and there's almost none left. That's how many people were here. My in-laws have I don't even know what the proper terms is. My daughter's mother-in-law had 7 kids, and 2 of them are married, including my daughter. So, and that she brought her mom too. So they alone brought, and her son, who's also married, brought a baby. So I think them alone, what's the math on that? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 people. 11 people, our family, which is already huge. And then my son's mother-in-law and brother-in-law. Unfortunately, her father-in-law is in the hospital. He had an operation a couple of days ago. I tell you what, the enemy is like attacking my family this year. I think it's because of Afar. I hate to say it, but I think Afar is going to make a difference in the world, and I think Satan's trying to hobble me. Because I think it's the most important thing I'm ever going to do, honestly. Just think the state Ohio when saying good morning in Japanese. I learned that from a missionary to Japan. All babies have to wait a bit for brisket, sadly. Yes, true. But 27-pound brisket. I think I must have cut 6 pounds of fat off of that thing. I didn't weigh it, but it was a pile of fat. I got almost 2 quarts of tallow rendering that fat. And then the rest was just like, it was like a 21-hour cook, I think. So it was crazy long cook. Anyway, How are we doing on Ripa Sand? How's Afar doing? Let's do a real quick update on how Afar is doing. Nope, I just want the window. We are at 308 books sold, so it was a pretty decent weekend. We're 100%, 100. I don't know how to do the math on that. 104, 116%, 108. I don't know. We're 100% over the campaign goal. Do you fry with that or like make moisturizers? We fry with it. We cook with it. We make moisturizers with it, whatever. I was wondering if the name Ohio is why Honda has one of their auto plants in that state. I know it's 100. Oh, it's 100, but it's not 150. It's 150. 154, 150, 100, yeah, 154%, right? Thank you, Angela. I hope you have all gotten your Afar orders in or am planning them more. I missed the old intro. Yeah, the old intro does this funny little thing of making my videos unmonetizable. And seeing I'm doing it on the my monetized channel, so it's like every time I do that, it cancels out my monetization. So, did I refresh this? I know it's 308, still 308. All right, so fantastic. I think it's doing well, doing good, and doing well. Why is this the? Oh yeah, I was talking already about the. Like, so most of Japan is Shinto and Buddhist, and it's like, I was wondering, why is it that Christianity was so popular with the samurai, right, back in the day? And I did look it up on Grok. I'm going to read it to you if I can find it. Actually, I posted it to answering one of these guys. Oh my gosh. And of course, my computer. Dude, I woke up this morning, my computer would not start. It was driving me nuts. It's like really worried I was gonna have to get a new computer. All right. Why did the samurai respond to Christianity? This is according to Grok, by the way, so they scraped the info and give it to me. For warriors accustomed to Zen Buddhism or Pure Land traditions, which also addressed mortality and discipline, Christianity's emphasis on eternal life, moral clarity, and personal relationship with God could appeal as a new path, especially for those disillusioned by endless warfare or seeking deeper meaning. Cultural and philosophical parallels. Many samurai found resonance between Christian teachings and their own Bushido code, the way of the warrior, which is, I'll get to that, which emphasized loyalty, selfless service to a master, courage, honor, and self-sacrifice. That sounds like Christianity. Christianity portrayed believers as servants of a higher Lord, Christ, called to take up their cross, live with integrity, and prioritize spiritual duty over worldly power. Jesuit priests themselves modeled discipline, dedication, long, arduous journeys, and self-sacrifice, qualities that impressed samurai as akin to Bushido values or virtues. Some saw Christianity as offering a moral framework that aligned with or elevated their existing values of rectitude, benevolence, and faithfulness. And I thought that was very interesting. And I also thought, isn't it weird that, like, see, to us, to the European mind, it's like the knight and chivalry. If you're like a real knight and you're like really chivalrous, that's the ideal of a romanticized version of like how to live your life, right? Be like a knight, be like chivalrous and noble. in Japan, that would be the samurai standard. Interesting thing you probably didn't know, samurai, this is why it's called servant spirit. Samurai literally means servant. So the servant, and maybe that's part of it, even being known as a servant. And you know that that's the ideal of a Christian, is to be a servant. So it's like the servant spirit, the Christian spirit, is the samurai spirit. How cool is that? Semantically, doing good and doing well both apply to the Afar campaign. True. Hello, Tina. The strong serving the weak. Yeah, right? Meekness, right? Using your strength to serve others. Although that's not what meekness is. Not having strength, but not using it to overpower others. Something like that. Very cool. Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm running out of steam just talking already. So anyways, it's been, maybe it's the lemonade. It has just been on my heart. Like, how do you reach the modern Japanese people? And is it by trying to call them back to a samurai spirit, which, because the samurai were open to Christianity, somehow these modern Shinto believing, which, by the way, Shinto is like nothing. It's a weird way to say it, but let me here, I'll look this up for you too. I'm going to read what Shinto is. Holy cow, this is so weird. Shinto. Shinto literally means, for those of you who don't know, something like, I think 60% of Japan is Shinto. Literally meaning the way of kami, gods, spirits, or sacred essences, is Japan's indigenous religion. By the way, Japan's indigenous people are my people, the Ainu. Actually, I'm going to look that up real quick. I'm going to ask, what is the Ainu people's indigenous religion? Excuse me. Animism. So they're pantheists. Commonly inhabit and manifest within elements of the natural world, plants, animals, and natural. Actually, that does sound partly like. Sorry, I don't want to read out loud for some reason. All right, let's go back to Shinto. That does actually sound a lot like what the Ainu practice. It's an ancient polytheistic and animistic tradition focused on living in harmony with nature, ancestors, and the spiritual forces that permeate the world. This is also, by the way, I'm trying to remember where it is, but I believe the Bible, or maybe it's the Book of Enoch, but I believe the Bible gave regions of the world to, I think, angels. Actually, I don't. I'm not gonna say I think anything, because some people think it's fallen angels, and then or the angels fell, and then, but they are now demons, and they hold certain parts of the world. I know some people. I think Mike Heisler teaches this kind of stuff. But see, I've just been kind of racking my brain trying to find a way to to permeate that mindset that you can't just come in and overthrow Shinto and Buddhism and Shinto Buddhism, whatever they call it, although that they don't teach anymore. Sorry, corpse grinders. trying to knock me off my train of thought. That what you don't want to do is lose the culture of Japan. And so many people there are like, it's so ingrained in their culture that you can't get rid of Shintoism without getting rid of the culture. But it's funny because America has a Christian culture, whether you atheists like it or not. I was raised agnostic. I was raised by a Buddhist mother. My dad didn't want her teaching me Buddhism because he wanted me to be agnostic. But we celebrated Christian holidays because that's the American culture. American culture is Christian culture. So we celebrated Christmas. We had the tree. We had all the trimming. We celebrated Easter. We did the Christian, and that's kind of like what Shinto is today in Japan. It says most people don't believe in the gods, but they want all their celebrations. It's a lot of festivals. It's a lot of celebrations. Christian culture has a knack of Christianizing other cultures and traditions. Yeah, but in Japan, they crucify Santa Claus and they eat Kentucky Fried Chicken for Christmas. So it's a different celebration of. See, even then, it is the Christian culture is moving in there. They're just kind of getting it from a weird misunderstanding perspective. They literally have displays of a crucified Santa Claus in like stores and stuff. It's like, the Japanese obsession with KFC is amazing. And that's a weird story too. That was a marketing ploy. So somebody that went over there and started a KFC, it was like floundering, I guess. And so he made up this marketing campaign that said that Americans eat KFC for Christmas. And so this total lie. I mean, I'm sure there's some Americans that eat KFC at Christmas, but this total lie that Americans eat KFC at Christmas permeated Japanese culture. And so like everybody thinks that KFC is like, it's kind of like what we did with Coke and Santa Claus. I don't know. The crossover there was all just marketing. That's tradition almost. I ain't gonna lie, I do love KFC. I love that original recipe, dripping with grease. It's just, can't say it's probably good for you, but it is. Is KFC even open on Christmas? Apparently it is in Japan. All right. Shinto has no single founder, no central sacred scripture, and no fixed dogma or moral code. That is like the easiest religion to slide in and out of. Is that even a religion? Instead, it emphasizes rituals, purity, gratitude, and a deep reverence for life and the natural world. I can get behind all of that. And that doesn't sound like a religion to me. That just sounds like a... What does that sound like? Is it a worldview? It's a philosophy. Really, it just sounds like a philosophy that doesn't. If you take out all the pantheistic God bullcrap that nobody believes anyways, it sounds like it aligns perfectly fine with Christianity. So why do people get offended? It's like, you can still believe all this stuff. You can have a spring festival. You can have a cherry blossom festival. You can love nature. Love nature. God made it. Most people who identify as Shinto are actually agnostic. This is what a 30-plus year missionary to Japan has told me. That's what I'm saying. That doesn't sound like a religion to me. That just sounds like a culture or a philosophy. So how do we reach those people and like move them with the story of Christ, saying like, you don't have to give up being Japanese to be a Christian. We don't want you to give up being Japanese to be a Christian. Just shunt the gods part of the Shinto. You're agnostic and you don't actually believe this crap anyways. Keep all your fun festivals. Nothing wrong with the party. God commands us to do all kinds of parties in the Bible. Some Christians decorate their house for Halloween. Yeah. Well, Halloween was a Christian holiday. All Hallows Eve. Did you watch the Shogun series? Not the new one, just the original one. Back in the day. Oh my gosh, I remember I sat down and watched that. It's 6 hours long. I sat down and watched through that whole thing one night. The Irish incorporated Christianity into their pagan folklore. That's why the English-speaking world probably call it Easter, right? I get in the non-English speaking world, it's still called Passover because it was Passover. But in the English speaking world, it lined up with the Oester festival, whatever. So it was like they already had a party that weekend, so they just renamed it Easter. We love you being Japanese. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. I happen to be a Christian that enjoys Halloween. Yeah, me too. Shogun series touches on Catholicism in Japan during that time. Right. And then it's either the 1600s or the 16th century, they kicked all of the Christians out of Japan. So what do you do with that? How do you reinforce? I know, but Shogun was written for an American audience. Hi, Angela Curry. How do you reach the Japanese people? Because what you don't want to do is offend them to the point that, I mean, the truth is an offense. That's what they. But I don't think these two things are misaligned. Now, Buddhism, on the other hand, see, my dad used to say that Buddhism is an atheistic philosophy, but really Buddhism is a polytheistic philosophy that was born of Hinduism. And trying to get my mom to, that's what I'm doing. Part of the reason I'm doing it so that I can give one to my mom and have her read it and finally understand the gospel. Didn't Paul use the customs of the Greeks to support Christianity? On Mars Hill, when Paul was talking to the Greeks, he said, you guys have a God for everything. And you got a God for nothing. You have a God, the unknown God. And this is the God that I'm preaching to you. This unknown God you have here. They had an empty pedestal, says the unknown God. No statue. This is the one true God. And then he proclaimed Christ and Christ crucified and resurrected. And some of them came back and said, I'd like to hear more of your story. And some of them went, meh, psh, and walked away. We could do that in Japan. Who knows? Maybe God's going to call me to be a missionary in Japan and use my celebrity status as a mangaka to draw people to Christ and say, you don't have to give up all your fun festivals. In fact, just put crosses on them. You don't believe in the gods anyways. You just although I'm sure there's some people that still do believe it. Whatever. In this day and age, although it's a culture shock thing, right? Totally different from our culture here today. Mike is at the hospital. Hold on a second. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Micah went to the hospital.
Oh, actually?
Yeah.
So sorry to hear that. Is he going to be okay?
I'm sure he'll be fine. But he just had a ear infection or something. So sorry you guys have to listen to me doing my cross-examination show. No, it's okay. I'll just leave calling. My son's headphone is just sitting there. I can hear people going, my God. Anyways, that was that. The revival part. Man, we did not random. I mean, we were already doing a baptism, and then we did an invitation to be baptized at church. And we had 4 services at church, and it must have been 24 people at our service, maybe. We don't have a big church. It's not a huge church, but it's like song after we just kept playing songs because people kept getting baptized. And then we came home, and then my daughter's mother-in-law, she was over here, and she was talking about at their church service today, they started doing baptisms. They had so many people coming, they never even got to the service. They never got to the message. They just they baptized over 200 people. And I'm like, is this revival? Is this what revival looks like? Is anybody else in the country, in the world, have a Sunday like that? Or did it just happen to be a couple churches in San Diego? It was crazy. How about you, DJ? Did you guys do an invitation or anything? It is a great thing. It's a very, incredible thing. I mean, that's what you want, right? That's the point of church. Well, I mean, fellowship. There's lots of points to church. It seems to be happening all over the place. Yeah, I'd love to hear some more reports of people that are happening. Not aware of anything like that happening in your area. Really? Well, I hope it happens everywhere. It would be really great if we just have this just a revival spirit going on all over the place. So I only saw the one service. I don't know how many people got baptized in the other 3 services. I'm sure we'll find out next week. They'll give us a tally or something. But that was pretty crazy. Oh my gosh, I am like, it's like I'm not tired, but like my voice is just like dying on the vine here. I might just have to wrap this up early because I need to save my voice. I'm going to be on somebody else's show later. Here's the difference. This is just me talking nonstop, and so that's why. But if I'm in a show with like 2 or 3 other people, and they can talk, and then I can interject, that works much better for me at this point. Where I just do get a little. You can hear it in my voice. It's like drying. It sounds like I'm drying up. So that's what I want to report about the revival. That's what I wanted to say about the samurai spirit, the servant spirit, and maybe you guys just pray about that. Give you a little update on afar, and just pray you guys keep spreading the good word about it. Make sure everybody gets their copy if they want their own copy, but more importantly, do some donations and get some books to some of. Let's see if we added any ministries. I don't know if I've heard of any. I mean, I know I haven't heard of any, but yeah. So we've still got the 3. We've got the Grove Church, which is my church, Emmanuel Lutheran, and Christian Comic Art Society. So you still have those 3 charity donation locations that can use these for ministry. That's what this is all about. It's ministry. So please do help out if you can. If not, just help out by spreading the word. And you've got to know somebody who would be interested in this. Somebody with kids, somebody with grandkids, whatever. Great gospel message. The gospel message in a wordless form that anybody on earth can understand. And it hits you. It hits you right there, and it should. All right, I'm going to go ahead and tap out early today for the pre-explained reasons. So God bless you guys. We'll see you later, maybe tomorrow. Have a good one.